Hey everyone, it's Mel from Sewing with Mel, and I want to talk to you today about tension. Right? That's kind of a scary word, especially when you see, people saying all the time, never, never touch your tension. And I mean, they're like vicious about it, just typing all in caps and screaming, don't touch your tension. Well, guess what? There are going to be times when you need to touch your tension, and I'm going to show you what they are right here. Okay, so I got, what is there, 7 here? There was 8. 8 didn't make it in time for my schedule. So 7 different kinds of 60 weight bobbin thread. Okay, so we've got finishing touch. Finishing touch is what comes with your machine. When you first get it, that's what's packed in the box. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Madeira bobbin fill, sulky, Verkelly. I'd never heard of that before. That's I got that off Amazon. Thread Nanny, Embroidex, and I'm going to say it's pronounced Hema Pro. It was another one I had not heard of before, but I got 7 of them, and I did a test, okay, with the green screw case, which is factory set for 60 weight thread, and it's actually set for finishing touch 60 weight thread, because as you can see, these are all 60 weight. They did not embroider out the same. Never touch the case. You cannot adjust this one. This is your green screw case. So this case comes factory set for finishing touch. That's what comes with your machine. They want to make sure at Brother that, or Baby Lock, same thing, that you get to embroider perfectly straight out of the box, okay? Look how nice that looks. That looks great, right? It's supposed to look great. Madeira bobbin fill. Awful, but it's 60 weight. Why didn't it work? They're not all created the same, okay? Sulky did not play well. This one looks pretty good. The rest of them all look pretty good till we get to the back. All right. Industry standards tell us in thirds, okay? So like a third, a third, a third. It doesn't have to be perfectly a third, a third, a third. It just has to be better than that, and that, and that, and that, okay? So let's talk about them here. So this is finishing touch. That's the benchmark. That's about what you want it to look like, okay? Poor Madeira bobbin fill, it did not do well. Too much bobbin thread, okay? Sulky, too much. This is close. This would be okay. I think this doesn't quite have enough bobbin thread. Too much, too much. Pretty good, pretty good. Hema Pro. I kind of like it. I like the feel of it. I think it's kind of nice. So anyway, back to what I was doing here. All right, so this was all done in your green screw case, okay? Green. It has green on it because they don't want you to adjust that. If you were going to adjust it on the other case, that's the screw, okay? The flat. Don't do the little Phillips head screws. Leave those alone, okay? And do not turn those so far out that you get them out, that they come completely out. You'll never get it back in, and then you'll just be mad. So can you tell I did that before? I actually took them apart so I could see everything that was inside the cases. I've got a video on that. It's called Inside Those Bobbin Cases. So check them out if you want to see what's actually in them. All right, back to this green screw. Don't turn it. Just leave it alone, okay? Try your, whichever one you have, try it. If it doesn't work well in this case, put it in this case, okay? The purple dot. Some people say, oh, I have a red dot or I have a blue dot. This looks a little blue to me. Purple, red and blue makes purple. I kind of think it's the machine running out of one or another. If it's red, blue, or purple, it's your alternate case. The older machines also came with pink, a pink dot inside. All right, so remember what this looks like. I put those same bobbin threads into the purple dot case, which comes factory set for 90 weight thread. It's thinner, okay? A lot of people Always go back to combo machines take 60 and embroidery takes 90. Well, if you have a combo machine, you can also use 90. And if you have if you just have an embroidery machine, you can use 60. It's because, not that case, this one, it's because it's adjustable. You can make this case work with any of these. All right, so because it's set for 90 weight, it's tighter, right? That means it's tighter because that thread is skinnier. As you go down, the thread gets thicker, okay? So 90 weight. I didn't touch it. It was set for finishing touch, 90 weight. Now, these all look pretty good, don't they? Let's look at from the back. There's finishing touch in the 90 weight case, in the alternate case. As you can see, let's get the other one out. 60 weight case, 90 weight case. What's the difference? The 90 weight case is set tighter. It won't let as much of your 60 weight thread through. That's why your dealer tells you just use the alternative case and then you don't have to worry about your bobbin thread coming through. Well, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you can't do that. Maybe you lost one of your bobbin cases. I don't know. But here's the proof right here. Here's your 60 weight case. Here's your 90 weight case. It didn't let very much bobbin weight or bobbin thread go through, did it? This one looks better. See how they all look better? That's because this is tighter. This is still not perfect. Okay, it's still not perfect. This is too much bobbin thread. This is probably too much bobbin thread. This isn't enough. This one looks good. This one looks good. That one could use a little more bobbin thread. See what I mean? You really want to look like that would be best. All right, so, well, how do I do it? How do we change it? How do we make it right? Well, here's some more information for you. Let's get rid of this. You can change your top tension. I know, people always say, never change your tension. Well, guess what? All of those buttons and keys and knobs, they're there for you to change the tension, okay? There's a whole section in your manual that says, here's how you change your tension. So why wouldn't you do it? All right? Back to what I was talking about. I'm kind of passionate about that. You guys know. Okay. This is the green screw case. I chose Madeira bobbin fill because it was the worst. Okay, so all these blue ones that you're going to see from now on, they are all Madeira bobbin fill because it does the worst. But you can make it perfect. Okay, watch this. If you just change your top tension, here it is with the default. Okay, on the Luminaire, that's what I did this on. The Luminaire, the Dream, the Solaris, anything that has 4.0 as the default, which will be in a gray box, okay? That's your default. That's what it's always on. It did not like it, right? So I decided to be a smarty and just adjust the top tension. So that top tension, I took it down to 3. Looks a little better. This is loosening it. When you go down, you're loosening that top tension, okay? Remember, it's tight on the back. If you loosen the top, it's tighter on the back and looser on the front. So it allows more colored thread on the top, but you can still see it. Took it down to 2. There's a little bit I can see. There's 1 and there's 0. Well, they look pretty good, don't they? Except for the fact that you now have 0 tension on your top thread. Okay, that means that the bobbin case is doing all the work. You want it to be more or less even. They're not going to be perfectly even. If they're perfectly even, your threads are going to join right at the edge of your stitching. That's where they're going to lock together. We don't want to do that, okay? So 0. Let's look at the back. Too much at 4. Lessened. Look at getting a little more, little more. This looks pretty good, right? Except for it's 0 tension. We really don't want that. So this was your green screw case set for 60 weight. I did the same thing with this one, with the purple dot case. Once again, I'm changing the top tension. I'm using the Madeira bobbin fill. And look what we got here. That case is tighter. So, right? It's tighter. So it doesn't allow the top thread to come to the back, or it doesn't allow the bobbin thread to come to the front. I don't see any there. There's a teeny little white thing there. That's where it ended, so I'm not going to count that. But once again, this is your default. That's what it looks like. I went down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, 0, no tension. It looks good, but it doesn't look right from the back. Okay, so there is Madeira 60 weight bobbin fill on the default. Okay, we could use a little more top thread on the back. That looks pretty good. So if you wanted to, you could use your purple dot case and lower your top tension. That looks all right. And that looks pretty good too. You can do that by changing your top tension. To me, I like this best, but once again, 0, no tension, right? Let's not talk about changing the tension on the top. Let's talk about changing the tension on your bobbin case. Okay, remember, we cannot change this one. Don't do it. You'll mess it up. It doesn't have a spring in it. That's what the difference is. This one has a spring. This one doesn't. It won't really do a whole lot if you try to change the tension on it. Okay. This is the screw, a little flathead screw, right? If you're going to turn it, I like to look at it so that the wherever my little slot is pointing is like 15 or 12 or whatever. That way I can get a good quarter turn on it. You're going to turn it a quarter at a time for now. All right. My upper tension is set at 4.0. That's the default. I'm using the purple dot case and I'm going to adjust the screw, and I'm still using that Madeira bobbin fill, okay, because it was the worst one. Here it is with no adjustment at all. Let's look at the back. No adjustment. Too much bobbin thread for me. Okay. These all look pretty good. I turned it a quarter. Then I decided, because there wasn't a whole lot of difference between this one and this one, I turned it again, only this time I turned it a whole half a turn. That looks better, doesn't it? I wanted it a little better than that, so I turned it another half a turn. Look how nice that looks. Look at my little smiley face. This is the one. So in order for me to use Madeira bobbin fill, I adjusted my case and I got the perfect stitch. I know that a lot of you bought a different kind of bobbin thread and said, oh, I'm going to use that. And then it all started coming to the top and it didn't stitch out nice. And you were wondering, well, why can't I use that? My machine hates it. I'm just going to get rid of it. You don't have to do that. You can use it. You just have to know how to adjust your tension. Okay, here's all my samples. You've seen what we've done. You can do it too. It just isn't that hard. You can always put your top tension back to default, and it's just not that hard to adjust your bobbin case. Now, I will say, changing your tension is not the first thing you should do when you have problems. The first thing you should do, the very first thing, get in there and clean out your machine. Debris and lint and thread and stuff in your machine, that causes all kinds of problems. And one of them it can cause is bobbin thread showing on the top. So make sure it's all clean first. Rule other stuff out before you go changing the tension. But if you know that you just bought a different kind of bobbin thread than you normally use, this is probably your problem. Have a great day.